Imagine a world where your weekly grocery run feels like a budget-busting battleground, with beloved items vanishing from shelves and prices climbing relentlessly. That's the harsh reality many everyday Americans are facing right now, thanks to a wave of new tariffs. But here's where it gets controversial. While these policies promise to revive U.S. manufacturing and bring in extra revenue, do they really deliver for the average family? Or are they just passing the pain on to consumers? Let's dive deeper into the stories behind the headlines and explore why this economic shift is sparking heated debates. As a dedicated mom juggling 2 kids, Paige Harris, 38, from Stella, North Carolina, where she works as a teacher's assistant, has felt the pinch in her family's shopping habits. She explains how everyday essentials have steadily risen in cost, forcing her to trim her grocery list while stretching her budget further. From hair dye to baby formula, and even basics like steak, these items have become luxuries they simply can't afford anymore. Paige is one of nearly 40 individuals who shared their experiences with The Guardian, highlighting the toll of Donald Trump's sweeping tariffs over the past 6 months. This isn't just anecdotal. Hard data backs it up. A recent SP Global study predicts that businesses will shell out at least $1.2 trillion more in expenses by 2025 than expected. And guess who's footing a huge chunk of that bill? According to the researchers, American consumers will absorb over 2/3 of this expense shock, amounting to more than $900 billion. To put that in perspective, think of it as an extra financial burden shared across millions of households, making everyday purchases feel like a constant uphill climb. And just last month, the Yale Budget Lab crunched the numbers and estimated that these tariffs could add nearly $2,400 to the average family's annual spending. For beginners wondering what tariffs are, picture them as taxes on imported goods meant to protect domestic industries. But in this case, they're raising costs for items we all rely on, from electronics to food. Paige isn't alone in pointing out the gap between promises and reality. The Trump administration has vowed to slash prices and make life more affordable for everyone. But she's seen the opposite. Prices are skyrocketing, she says. And it's crystal clear, this administration just doesn't prioritize the struggles of ordinary Americans. And this is the part most people miss. How these policies are reshaping not just budgets, but entire lifestyles. Take Jean Meadows, a 74-year-old retiree in Huntsville, Alabama, for example. She's slashed her spending habits, sticking mostly to Costco and buying the bare minimum elsewhere. Prices are through the roof, she admits. I can't believe stores haven't caught on to the shift. People are genuinely scared about what's ahead. Her fears echo a recent Guardian exclusive poll, where respondents ranked tariffs as the second biggest economic threat, right up there with inflation and job insecurity. It's a stark reminder that economic policies can create ripple effects far beyond Wall Street. For retirees like Myron Peeler, also from Huntsville, the impact is even more personal. He cares full-time for his wife, who's battling severe arthritis, and relies on a fixed income. The bread I buy has doubled in price in just a year, he shares. Our income stays the same, but everything else keeps rising. His only relief? Owning his house and car outright. This highlights a controversial angle. While tariffs aim to boost American jobs and industries, they often hit fixed-income households hardest, widening the gap between the haves and have-nots. President Trump shows no signs of retreating from his tariff strategy, which the White House defends as a way to breathe new life into domestic manufacturing and extract more revenue from trading partners. Most recently, he's escalated tensions with China by threatening a 100% tariff on their goods as early as November, in response to Beijing's restrictions on rare earth minerals, key components in stuff like electric car batteries and medical equipment. Trump called China's move very hostile, and in a Fox News interview, he acknowledged the high tariff might not be sustainable, but claimed he had no choice. They forced me to do that, he said. Right now, the average U.S. tariff on Chinese imports sits around 58%, per the Peterson Institute for Economics. And this is sparking major debate. Do these measures truly protect American jobs, or do they risk alienating global partners and driving up costs for everyone? Critics argue it's a short-sighted approach that could lead to retaliatory tariffs, hurting exporters here at home, while supporters see it as a necessary stand against unfair trade practices. Michelle, from northeastern Pennsylvania, feels the squeeze directly. "We need new tires for our car, but we can't afford $250 each, and the cheaper ones are out of stock," she explains. Her story underscores a growing trend: empty shelves and scarcity. Natalie, a 55-year-old, semi-retired resident of New Hampshire who's about to start part-time work at a supermarket, hasn't spotted pantry staples like certain canned goods in months. "Shelves are getting barer by the day," she says. "Instead of a variety, there might be just one or two options, with store brands replacing name brands." She's noticed price hikes across the board, from cat food up 25% to double the cost, with one favorite wet food jumping from $1.79 to $2.49 per can, to everything else she buys regularly. This new normal extends beyond groceries for some. Minnie, 55, a food writer in Portland, Oregon, has overhauled her lifestyle entirely. "No more shopping for extras, like a new sweater or jeans in the fall, and we're crafting all our Christmas gifts this year," she shares. "We used to grab a meal out weekly, but now even fast casual spots are prohibitively expensive. Prices have doubled, and we're terrified about the financial future." It's a poignant example of how economic policies can force tough choices, prompting questions like, is this the price of protecting domestic industries, or is there a better way to balance trade without sacrificing consumer well-being? While overall U.S. inflation sits at about 2.9%, a big drop from the pandemic peaks, these tariffs aren't easing the strain on wallets. Richard Ulmer, an 81-year-old Florida resident who's been there for 35 years, calls this year the worst financially. "Everything from groceries to my electric bill has gone up," he adds. And for younger folks like Cassie, a 25-year-old consultant in Siler City, North Carolina, the changes hit fast. She sticks to a tight $65 weekly grocery budget but has had to hunt across multiple stores, even driving farther since Trump's tariffs kicked in. During the summer after tariffs on Mexico and Latin America, Walmart and others ran out of bananas for 2 weeks, she recalls. "Nobody in my area could find them." This scarcity not only inconveniences but also raises costs as people scramble for alternatives. So, where does this leave us? Tariffs are designed to shield American businesses, but the evidence suggests they're burdening consumers with higher prices and shortages. But here's the controversial twist. Some economists argue that over time, these policies could lead to stronger domestic production and lower long-term costs, if managed wisely. Others contend they're a costly gamble that inflates expenses without delivering the promised benefits. What do you think? Do the potential gains in manufacturing jobs outweigh the immediate hardships for families like Paige, Jean, and Cassie? Is Trump's approach a bold defense of American interests or a reckless escalation of trade wars? Share your thoughts in the comments. Do you agree with the administration's tactics or see them as misguided? Let's discuss.